In 2019, the United States Navy had 5 warships actively patrolling the Persian Gulf. Satellites were locked onto every Iranian port around the clock. Intelligence assets were embedded across shipping networks on 3 continents. The most powerful military force in human history was positioned directly between Iran and the rest of the world. That same year, Iran exported over 1 million barrels of oil every single day. Nobody intercepted a single shipment. Nobody froze a single transaction. Nobody stopped anything. Now here is the number you need to sit with for a moment. Since 1979, Iran has collected approximately $1 trillion from oil sales conducted entirely under active American sanctions. $1 trillion. Moved, sold, and spent while carrier strike groups circled overhead, while Washington held press conferences announcing new rounds of maximum pressure, while American officials looked directly into cameras and told the world that this time the walls around Iran were finally sealed. The walls were never sealed. But here is where this story stops being about Iranian cleverness and starts being about something far more disturbing. The people running those sanctions were not incompetent. The satellites worked. The intelligence was accurate. The Navy knew exactly which ships were moving Iranian oil and exactly where they were going. They watched, and they did nothing. The question is not whether America failed to stop Iran. The question is whether stopping Iran was ever the actual objective. Somewhere in the Strait of Malacca right now, there is a tanker carrying approximately 2 million barrels of Iranian crude oil. It has no name visible on its hull. Its electronic transponder is switched off. On every maritime tracking system used by Western intelligence, it simply does not appear. It is, for all official purposes, a ghost. There are approximately 600 ships operating this way at any given moment. Not occasionally, continuously. A parallel navy of unmarked, untracked, officially non-existent vessels moving Iranian oil from port to port across the Indian Ocean, the South China Sea, and the Persian Gulf in a logistics operation of staggering complexity and precision. Here's how it works. An Iranian tanker leaves Karg Island with its transponder active and its paperwork clean. Somewhere in international waters, it goes dark. It pulls alongside a second vessel, transfers its entire cargo at sea in a process that takes roughly 18 hours, and turns back toward Iran. The second ship reactivates its transponder, now carrying oil that has no traceable origin, flying the flag of Cameroon or Palau or the Marshall Islands, registered to a company incorporated in Malaysia 3 weeks ago by a lawyer who has never visited the country. By the time that oil arrives at a refinery in eastern China, it has changed ownership 7 times across 4 continents. The Americans track every step of this, every single one, which means the Ghost Fleet only works because someone powerful enough to stop it has decided, very deliberately, not to. Every month, China buys approximately 1 million barrels of Iranian oil per day. That is roughly 40% of everything Iran produces. Without that buyer, Iran's entire economic model collapses within weeks. Washington knows this number precisely. It has known it for years. Here's what makes this arrangement genuinely remarkable. Not a single dollar moves between Tehran and Beijing in any of these transactions. Not through SWIFT. Not through any bank that touches the American financial system. The dollar, which Washington uses as the primary weapon in its sanctions architecture, is completely absent from the entire operation. The payments happen in 3 ways simultaneously. First, Chinese state refineries accept Iranian crude and hold the equivalent value in yuan inside accounts that Iranian entities access through a network of front companies registered in Hong Kong and Dubai. Second, a portion of the debt is settled through direct barter. Iran receives Chinese electronics, construction equipment, military components, and consumer goods in exchange for barrels rather than currency. Third, and most significantly, a growing share of transactions is now settled through a system that American regulators have no jurisdiction over whatsoever and no technical mechanism to freeze. What that system is, exactly, is something we will return to. But understand what has already happened here. Iran and China have built a complete parallel financial architecture that routes around every instrument of American economic power, not in response to sanctions, alongside them. While Washington was announcing maximum pressure, Beijing and Tehran were quietly building the infrastructure to make maximum pressure permanently irrelevant. In 2023, the United States Treasury Department sanctioned a network of 12 companies for facilitating Iranian oil sales. The companies were registered in Malaysia, the UAE, Hong Kong, and Turkey. All 12 were shut down within weeks. 31 new companies replaced them within the same month. Same ports, same routes, same clients, different letterheads. This is not a failure of American intelligence. It is a description of how the system actually functions, a rotating infrastructure of intermediary states and compliant jurisdictions that process Iranian oil, strip its origin from the paperwork, and reintroduce it into global markets as something else entirely, produced somewhere cleaner, owned by someone neutral, certified by someone paid not to ask questions. The UAE is the most important node in this network. Dubai processes an estimated 30 to 40% of all Iranian oil transactions through trading companies, currency exchanges, and real estate deals that convert sanctioned revenue into clean capital. This is not a secret. The American Treasury has documented it in detail across multiple official reports. The UAE is simultaneously a close American security partner, host to a major U.S. naval base, and the primary laundering infrastructure for the economy Washington claims to be strangling. Malaysia provides the port infrastructure. Turkey provides the banking access. Oman provides the geographic corridor. Each country maintains plausible deniability through layers of private intermediaries while collecting substantial fees for the privilege of looking in another direction. The architecture is not improvised. It was designed this way. And the most important design feature is that it requires the quiet cooperation of American allies to function at all. Here is the fact that reframes this entire story. The National Security Agency tracks the Ghost Fleet in real time. The Treasury Department maintains detailed maps of every intermediary network operating through Dubai, Kuala Lumpur, and Istanbul. American satellites have logged millions of ship-to-ship transfers in the Indian Ocean with timestamps, coordinates, and cargo volumes. The intelligence is not the problem. The decision is. If Washington genuinely shut down Iranian oil exports tomorrow, global supply would drop by approximately 1 million barrels per day overnight. Oil prices would spike immediately. The economies of Japan, South Korea, India, and every European nation dependent on stable energy costs would absorb a shock their governments are not prepared to explain to their populations. The allies America needs most are the same economies that cannot afford the sanctions to actually work, so the operation continues in its current form. Enough pressure to weaken Iran, not enough to collapse the global energy system that American allies depend on. The sanctions are not a wall, they are a valve. And someone in Washington has always had their hand on it. Iran understood this 20 years ago. China understood it 15 years ago. The Ghost Fleet, the parallel financial system, the rotating network of intermediary states, none of it was built in desperation. It was built in the calm understanding that the pressure would always stop just short of the point where it would actually work. If you watch this far, you now understand how the global energy system actually operates, not how it is described in press conferences. Subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments, which country in this story surprised you most? The best comment gets a full response in the next video.